Charlie curled up the corners of his mouth into a smile as his friend, Ben, approached. The lanky, almost goofiness of his walk told Charlie that Ben was in his usual happy mood. Nothing seemed to faze him. Whereas Charlie, now there was a different story. Charlie jumped off the low wall and stuck his fists into the front pockets of his jeans. He hoped that his forced smile would fool Ben into thinking that all was okay in his world. But they had known each other for almost half of their 19-year-old lives, and Ben could read Charlie like a first-grade reading exercise book. They fist-bumped and then made their way to the burger bar, not saying much as they walked side by side. Ben bubbled up his half-drunk cola by blowing through the straw. It was his habit. He believed it made the cola last longer.
Hey, what's up?
He finally asked.
You look down, man.
Charlie didn't want to say. It sounded stupid in his head. He couldn't imagine how much more ridiculous it would be putting words to it. Girls were a problem the world over. Charlie knew that. Jeez, everyone knew that. Charlie's problem was no more different or difficult than any other teenage lad's.
Nothing much.
Charlie shrugged. Ben waited for the silence to pass. He knew Charlie would blurt it out soon enough.
It's Debbie. I just don't understand her.
Ben listened as Charlie poured out his frustration and confusion. How Debbie would be impossible to be understood by even the most intelligent man on earth. How she'd run hot one minute, then, without a single minuscule change in circumstances, she'd run cold. How she would say things that were ambiguous, Charlie thought deliberately so. He showed Ben a sample of texts Debbie had sent Charlie.
I don't know how anyone could pack so much double meaning and misunderstanding and I don't know what else into a bloody text message. I spent half my time with her trying to work out what she's really saying.
Ben thought it was easy to pack double or even triple meaning into a text. He thought Charlie should send her an even shorter text. Just the word goldfish or brickwork would keep her guessing. Yet, Ben had learned to keep most of his ideas to himself. He knew the world was not ready for his grasp on reality. Instead, he slurped the last of his cola through his straw, making the roaring, drudging noise that he enjoyed so much. Charlie watched him. Only Ben and 5-year-olds could get so much fun out of drinking cola. Charlie knew a response from Ben wouldn't be immediate. The understanding, comfort, and ease of the long silences between them were the characteristics of their close friendship. They decided to go bowling.
Look, I think I have a solution to your problem.
Is how the subject was broached again.
What's that?
Love armor.
What's that?
Charlie repeated himself.
It's a little bottle of liquid. It comes in a heart-shaped bottle, but you have to put that down to marketing. You just pour a few drops into a drink and it's all systems go.
That's Rohypnol.
No, Rohypnol knocks them out. Love armor wakes them up. Gets them all feisty. It breaks down their inhibitions. Gets them to say and do what they really want.
Charlie let the conversation hang while he bowled his ball along the alley, knocking the remaining pin.
I bet it's just some colored water.
Charlie said, half hoping it were true.
Not at all. They sell it on Amazon.
Was the reply. Ben focused while the machine set up his pins. He bowled, knocking down all but 2 pins, the farthest from each other. This would have annoyed Charlie, but Ben didn't seem to notice.
Hey, you've seen how Cass is with me, right? She would set up camp in my pants if she could. That's all thanks to love armor.
So she doesn't love you?
Who cares? I don't love her either. But I'm 19 and I'm getting it as often as I want. She can't keep her hands off of me. I've cut back on her dosage just to give myself a break and recharge the batteries. Look, I'll give you what's left in the bottle, if you want it.
Charlie wanted to approve of his friend, but struggled with the idea of drugging a girl for sex. It seemed wrong somehow. He wanted to disapprove, too, but his hormones were taking charge in this one. And if it really were only well-marketed color water, what's the harm? Debbie and Charlie sat on the sofa with their arms connected in the shape of the bottom half of a love heart, a broken love heart, holding hands, not with interlocking fingers as Charlie would have liked, but palm to palm, with hers on top. Ready for a quick getaway? Charlie pondered. The bulge in his jeans was the bottle of love armor.
Do you want a drink?
That would be great.
Debbie said, pulling her hand away much too quickly for Charlie's liking, but not before giving his hand an affectionate squeeze. Charlie fought against the hundreds of interpretations that kicked and stumbled through his mind as he walked into the kitchen.
No matter.
He quietly told himself.
Soon she will loosen up and all the waiting and wondering won't matter anymore.
He took the bottle from his pocket and studied it for the first time. He had felt a little seedy and criminal taking it from Ben, so got over his guilt by giving it little attention. Love 'em more was the name on the bottle. Trust Ben to get that one wrong, Charlie thought. He read the instructions and noticed an allergy warning. May contain nuts. Charlie paused. It was too much of a risk to take. He held on to the door frame as he leaned into the living room.
Debbie, are you allergic to anything?
What? I don't think so. Why?
No reason. Like nuts, for example. Are you allergic to nuts?
No. Well, I guess it depends on whose nuts they are.
She gave a cheeky grin, which didn't sit comfortably on her face. Charlie smiled and pulled back into the kitchen. He silently jumped around a few times in anger and frustration. Is it even possible to be allergic to a guy's nuts? His testicles? If it is she saying she could be allergic to my testicles? Charlie wanted to know. Did that mean Debbie wanted to try and find out? Or not take the risk? Charlie let 3 generous drops of Love Amore fall into her Coke. He took both glasses into the lounge and handed Debbie hers. Charlie watched her take the first few gulps. Something was happening inside Debbie's brain. It started as a little tickle. She could feel the process of chemicals turning into thoughts, and it tingled, as if her entire mind was being spring-cleaned. It was a refreshing sensation. She looked at Charlie, straight in the eyes, something she rarely did. And then,
I don't like you.
She blurted out. Charlie was stunned.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. It just came out. But it's true. I never really have liked you. You're boring. You overanalyze everything, and you say strange things and ask silly questions like, are you allergic to nuts? When there is no reason to ask it. You're just too strange.
Charlie opened his mouth to begin explaining why he had asked the question, but knew that the truth would not have made her like him more. He closed his mouth again.
I've been going with you these past 3 months because I felt sorry for you and thought I could change you, but I can't, and the truth is, I can't be bothered to try anymore.
Debbie stood and grabbed her bag.
So I'll just say bye.
With the click of the front door, she was out of Charlie's life. Charlie didn't move for a moment or two. The evening had almost certainly not gone according to plan, and Charlie needed to reassess all the facts of the situation. It all came down to one thing. Love Amore. He threw what was left of the liquid down the back of his throat. His brain started to buzz. He could feel his synapses snapping into place. He stretched out on the sofa for a moment to let the world find its place in his mind. Girls, he concluded, were just too bloody complicated. Charlie started to laugh. He laughed long and hard. He thought he would never stop.